Our adventure begins with the rising sun at Kathmandu Airport, where we're filled with excitement and anticipation. As we board our flight to Pokhara, we're treated by stunning views of the Himalayas, a teaser for the incredible landscapes to come.
Where are we? We're starting the Annapurna Base Camp Trek in the town of Dhampus.
So we were actually supposed to fly in yesterday, but after waiting 6 hours in the airport, our flight got cancelled, and then we've rescheduled to 6:30 a.m. this morning, and we had another 3-hour delay, but finally the weather cleared up a bit that we arrived in Pokhara by around 9 a.m. And then took the car up here, and now we're having lunch.
We took a 1.5 hour drive, some bumpy roads, but a really good driver from Pokhara. The hard thing is actually getting the flight from Kathmandu to Pokhara, but once you've done that bit, or if you've taken the alternative driving route, which can also be busy in itself, then you can start your trek, which is what we're going to be doing shortly.
So we just had some chat with local buffalo milk. It's really nice.
These are the views of Dhampus.
Very cloudy. Just having some lunch. How's the food, Patrick?
Mitotsa.
Mitotsa? Good, very good. After having lunch, we started the trek. Guys, we have made it halfway from Dhampus to Lhandruk. We've passed Potana, Durali. Well, now we're just having a bit of a rest. This dog has been following us the entire way. We're also surrounded by other animals. We've got 2 cows and some goats up there. Also very cute. We've arrived in Lhandruk, and this is a view of our room at the tea lodge. Lhandruk is a hidden gem for wary trekkers. Here you'll find a warm and welcoming haven with cozy rooms that offer respite after a day of hiking. The lodge's terraces provide sweeping views of the surrounding hills, while the aroma of authentic Nepalese cuisine wafts from the kitchen, tempting your taste buds. It's not just a place to rest your head, it's a cultural immersion, a chance to connect with locals, and a hub for swapping stories with fellow adventurers. Literally, a cat just jumped up next to me. It's so cute. I have to take a video. Oh my gosh. We have arrived in Lhandruk. We're staying at the Himalayan Front Hotel. It took us about 4 hours to get here from Dhampus, and now we're going to have some dinner.
So now, Nepali dinner has been served. This is always a very safe and very tasty option. Got the sag, aloo, there's some green beans in there and some onions. Yeah, some atsar pickle, another kind of atsar it looks like, and then some salad. And the tapur on top of that. And the dal is here, it's the yellow dal. Today we're going to go to Chromrong, and we're having coffee and some breakfast. Welcome to Jhinu.
We had a really tough climb here from Lhandruk. Going downhill was really hard because the steps were slippery from the rain overnight, and going uphill was hard as well because it was extremely steep, but we finally made it, and we will be having lunch here.
And for lunch, we're pretty basic, so we're going to have dal bhat again, but we always recommend for lunch, dinner, it's always so nutritious and tasty.
After this, we've got a couple hours left to get to Chromrong. And the other thing here is that there's some really nice hot springs. We are only having a short stop over here, so we don't get to, but maybe on the way back, when we're staying overnight here, we'll try to jump in the hot springs.
Namaste. We are now on our way to Himalaya. We're going to go via Bamboo.
The trek through Bamboo was an enchanting journey into a world of cascading waterfalls and lush greenery. As we meandered along the trail, the dense bamboo forests provide a sense of mystery and serenity, almost like walking through an ancient forgotten realm. The constant murmur of clean mountain streams and the sight of picturesque waterfalls tumbling from great heights create a soothing soundtrack for the adventure. The interplay of dappled sunlight and the vivid green of the foliage makes every step a visual delight. While it's pouring rain here in Himalaya, I thought I'd do a quick Q&A about this trek. So basically we're doing the Annapurna Base Camp Trek, which is one of the most popular and scenic routes in Nepal. It's located in the western side of Nepal, and it can go for about 7 to 14 days depending on how fast or how slow you go, where you go through the hills and walk up to the Annapurna Base Camp. The trek itself offers incredible views of terraced rice fields, traditional villages, waterfalls, streams, huge hills and cliff sides, which are so incredible to see. And the end destination is, of course, Annapurna Base Camp, which is located at an altitude of 4,130 meters. So while this is considered a moderate difficulty trek, it's really important that trekkers of any fitness level really prepare for this trek, because you do need to be able to deal with the altitude and have the physical strength to climb up some of these hills, which are incredibly steep. To enter the Annapurna Sanctuary or trekking region, you do need to get a permit, and permits can be found in Pokhara or in Kathmandu. The best time to trek to Annapurna Base Camp is in spring or in autumn, because generally the weather is pleasant. Unfortunately for us, it's La Nina, or is it La Nina, Patrick? La Nina? El Nino, sorry. Which means that the monsoon season has been a bit longer this year. So right now it is absolutely pouring rain. But usually this time would be very good for trekking. So no, you do not have to camp along the entire route pretty much. There's tea houses, which are basic lodging type accommodation. And generally trekking packages will have full board, what's called full board, which means all your meals are covered as well. The accommodation is very basic, as you can probably see from the room that I'm in at the moment, but it means that you don't have to camp. If you go anywhere past Chromrong, there generally is no bottled water because it's illegal to sell it in the Annapurna Sanctuary region. So it's really important to bring water purification tablets, or you can buy water which is purified and filtered by the tea house or lodge owners, and that generally costs between 120 to 200 rupees for a litre. As with all high altitude trekking, it's really important to be aware of AMS or altitude sickness, and we'll put a link below for the signs and symptoms of altitude sickness, and what you should do is really, if you experience any of the symptoms, descend, descend, descend. Overall, the Annapurna Base Camp Trek is a remarkable journey that offers natural beauty, cultural experiences, and the opportunity to witness some of the world's highest and most famous peaks up close in person. It's for people of all different skill levels, and we highly recommend it.
Namaste. We are on our way to Dhampus.
We arrived at Machhapuchre Base Camp in the early afternoon. It was very cold and we certainly could feel the altitude. Located at an altitude of 3,700 meters, Machhapuchre Base Camp is a trekker's paradise and a jewel of the Himalayas. As you ascend through the lush rhododendron forests and picturesque Gurung villages, the awe-inspiring pyramid-shaped Machhapuchre Peak dominates the horizon. For lunch, we had some delicious gurung bread and momos. For the remainder of the afternoon, we spent it resting, for we would have to wake up at 4 a.m. the next morning for our trek to ABC. Day 5, Machhapuchre Base Camp to Annapurna Base Camp. Annapurna Base Camp at 4,130 meters is encircled by a formidable amphitheater of snow-clad peaks. We stood in awe of nature's grandeur, and the memories etched themselves into our souls. Watching the sunrise at Annapurna Base Camp is a magical experience that words can hardly do justice. As the first light of dawn bathes the towering peaks in a soft golden hue, it's as if the mountains themselves awaken. The moment the sun crests over the Annapurna Massif is truly enchanting, casting an ethereal glow on the snow-covered peaks. This unparalleled beauty, combined with the crisp mountain air and the camaraderie of fellow trekkers, makes for an unforgettable morning. Annapurna Base Camp was not just a destination for us, it felt like a portal to a world of natural wonder. The experience is truly something that we will never forget. We then began our descent back to Bamboo. The journey back revealed an entirely different perspective. The forested trails, the vibrant rhododendron blooms, and the friendly faces of fellow trekkers all contributed to making this a very memorable day.